Hey salespeople, picture this situation. You're on a cold call with your prospect, you've pitched your product and you're about to close this deal when suddenly your lead loses interest and you're not able to convert them and end up losing this deal. Now, there could be a lot of reasons as to why this happens, but sometimes there's a psychological bias that's at play. And if you can understand the psychological factors that exist behind a prospect deciding to buy or not to buy, then that can give you a serious head start. One such bias that I want to dive deeper into today is the loss aversion bias. And this video is actually a part of a series in which we dive deeper into the various psychological elements that are in play behind closing a deal. The loss aversion bias is one such psychological bias that if you can understand, then you can use that to address the concerns of your prospects and drive them towards a yes. So what exactly is this loss aversion bias? In simple terms, the pain of losing something is psychologically much greater than the pleasure of gaining something else of the same value. This principle suggests that people are more motivated to avoid potential losses than to pursue gains. When faced with a purchasing decision, customers more often weigh the potential loss much greater than the subsequent gain of a product or its service. This potential loss could be a loss in revenue, perhaps a poor investment, or the fear of missing out on a good deal. This concept is called the loss aversion bias, and it even applies in your personal life. Think about the fear that you associate with losing your phone. You would lose all your contacts, your pictures, and all your applications. Now compare this to the excitement of buying a new phone. Surely the two are not the same, for you are going to put more weightage into losing your phone than the excitement of buying a new phone. This is the same bias in play, and if you are in sales and you can tap into this, then you can understand your prospects better, address their concerns, and push them towards a closed won deal. So let me share with you 3 strategies that you can use in your calls, emails, or demos to drive your customers towards your product. The first strategy that you can use to tap into the loss aversion is highlighting the consequences of inactivity. And what do I mean by that? Simply put, sometimes you need to tell your prospects and show them what the costs of them doing absolutely nothing are. So, for example, if you have an automation tool, instead of pitching all the benefits and the features of your automation tool, highlight the potential losses that your prospect might face if he or she does not use that tool. So, instead of saying that you will gain 5 hours a week to close more deals, you can say that if you don't use this automation, then you can lose an X amount of revenue. This way, you change the way your prospect looks at your product and taps into their loss aversion bias. The second strategy that you can use is scarcity. Now, loss aversion together with scarcity is a very powerful tool, and typically you see this in limited time offers and discounts. Some of the best SDRs that I know often employ this as they tap into the fear of missing out of their prospect. Sometimes when you offer a prospect a limited deal or something that can only be availed within the next couple of days, it makes your prospect want to buy your product just so that they don't miss out on this exclusive deal that is there in front of them. It is a little nudge that you can use to push your prospects over the line. The third strategy that you can use to leverage the loss aversion bias is by using risk reversal. Now, what does this mean? Typically, it means offering cashbacks or free trials that minimize the risk that your prospect may associate with your product. You might have seen tools that promise to pay you back if it doesn't match your requirement. But most of these tools just use this to get the users onto their platform. The percentage of users that actually avail this cashback feature is very low. But the reason for this existing is to tap into the loss aversion bias, as humans typically are risk averse and do not want to lose any investment of theirs. An example for this could be if you offer your SaaS tool for 30 days and if your prospect is not happy, then you return their money at the end of their subscription. Lastly, you can even tap into the loss aversion bias by showcasing opportunity costs. Highlight the problems that your prospect might face if they miss out on a particular opportunity. It could mean the loss of revenue or increased sales times or perhaps some other inefficiencies, and you can showcase these in order to move them towards your product or service. Understanding and mastering these psychological biases can help move your sales game from good to great. The loss aversion bias is just one such bias, and there are other ones such as the endowment effect and the anchoring effect, which can be used in unison to create a foolproof sales strategy. So if you found this content useful and want to understand how to employ these strategies in your sales process, then check out the playlist that I'll leave a link for in the description below. And if you found this video useful, then please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content coming your way. My name is Aviral, and I'll see you next time.